what do you think these platforms got right? And then what do you think they're doing wrong now? Like why is there a need for a new solution? So maybe if we can start with like, what did they do right to get to this point? And then what are they doing wrong and kind of opening the door for Geyser to offer a better solution?
Yeah, good question. Well, you mentioned there's probably dozens out there, but the three that you mentioned, so Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and GoFundMe, they account for probably 90% of the market. So clearly they've done something right. And if we look at Kickstarter in particular, they were one of the very first ones to take this idea of funding projects and creatives. So they really took the creative industry, the gaming, board games, artists, and they put a lot of focus around that, around sort of the culture of crowdfunding. And I think they nailed that one. They really nailed that one because when you think about crowdfunding, even just the term in itself, it's the crowd and funding. So you need the crowd to even make the funding. And that's where Kickstarter really nailed it. They took the crowds that were passionate about a particular topic, which was artists, art, creation, and they just doubled down on that. And they did it really well, right? When you look at Kickstarter, they basically created a new industry. Back when they started, can't remember now, maybe 2011, somewhere around that, the internet age, as you said, they were kind of alone. And so they did that great. But then you kind of go deeper into that and you realize that they're operating in around 30 to 35 countries. And that's not the internet era. The internet era is to open it up to everyone, right? It should be global. We think about information travels freely or close to freely. And that's what the internet era should be about. So when we think about Kickstarter, we think about Indiegogo, we think they're global because they're on the internet, but they're not, right? They're really not. They're very oriented towards the West, and they exclude a very large portion of the population, which is mostly, Africa, South America, and some countries in Southeast Asia. So that's not okay for us. We want to change that, right? And not just us, but Bitcoin changes that. Because when you think about why they're not operating globally, the greatest barrier is the currency that they're using. They're using Stripe for the most part to process payments, and there's a lot of regulations around that as well. And so they're restricted, and they're not doing that the right way, in my opinion. And then the second thing is not only are they not operating globally, but also in the countries that they're operating in, we've seen some forms of censorship. And I'm sure we can get into that as well.
Right. Okay, so now that we have a good understanding of like what some of those problems are with current platforms, how do you think about using Bitcoin and Lightning to solve those problems? Like, where are we at now in Bitcoin and Lightning's maturity? Are we at the point where we can now use these technologies to offer a better solution today? Is it going to take a few more years? Where are we at in that stage? And what are the specific features of Lightning that make it a better solution?
It will be gradual. I would be lying if I said that Lightning is ready today as it is, but we certainly share that vision that Bitcoin is the better money. Bitcoin is the best money, right? This is the foundation of this new economy that we're building. Bitcoin is censorship resistant. It is the best form of money. It's been repeated over and over again, and I don't want to go over these arguments, but we sort of take this as our base foundation. And then what Lightning does when coming on top of that is that it also makes it scalable to the world. So it makes it scalable, it makes it accessible to people, and it makes small transactions that would be prohibitive on the base layer, maybe not today, but down the line, it makes those possible as well. And so it was a natural fit to think about, using Lightning for a crowdfunding platform that is, as I said, global, right? So yeah, it was just a natural fit to use Lightning, and it's a technical solution as well, and one that will gradually reach mass adoption. But we certainly have a lot of hurdles still to go beyond. And I can go into more details into those if that's something that we can cover. But yeah, I do
Sure.
think that it will be the best solution to scale Bitcoin.